Okay.
Good evening, welcome. This is a new series I want to do to talk to the sisters, to women, about what it's like coming out of demon possession when you come to Yahusha and you want to get free and you're coming through the world. And what I want to talk to the women, sisters, is to let them know exactly what it's really been like for me coming out of my demonic possession. How I truly treated my husband and what I've really done and how I've held back the truth. I've held back these things because I've been so ashamed. I've never wanted to talk about them. I've never wanted to truly acknowledge how deep and how devious and the wickedness that was in me. I didn't think that demons had control over me. I didn't believe that I was that stupid to believe in demons having that power over me. I didn't accept it, and so therefore I carried on in a state. And I've been married now for 45 years. The beginning of my marriage, I got married to Chris, and previously he was gay and in his life, and I was a woman of the world and had many relationships before him, and I was drawn to him and I loved him, and I didn't care what anyone thought or did. I just was 27, 28 when I got married, and that was the state we were in. We'd just become born again Christians, and he took that very seriously. He was reading the scriptures, and he remembered when he was a child he went to a Pentecostal church, and he remembered the feeling that he used to get in the back of the church with his mate and how they used to have great time. And I'd been brought up Catholic, so I had that traditional religious social situation where I thought, where you think you're better than anyone and that the only one's going to heaven. So I tried to change him and mould him to fit into my idea of acceptable, especially for my family, and they had a huge influence over me and didn't accept our marriage to start with. We worked together, and I was a junior in Chris's salon, and so he was my boss, and I didn't like that. I kept face and kept it together during the day, but being taught by your husband that he was the senior, he was the owner, he knew everything, and he was skillful in his profession and very successful. And of course I just had an incredible jealousy, and I felt like nothing. And when the doors were closed in the afternoon after work, then I'd let loose. I'd hold it together all day, and then I'd let loose. I used to slam the doors and attack him for being so confident and being so happy. And at that stage, he wanted all the attention, and I didn't think he had a clue how to treat women. And so I thought I was going to show him because of his background. So consequently, I constantly challenged him and constantly put him down and let him know that he didn't know what he was doing, and he wasn't right and he was wrong. All the time I was showing him how wrong he was. I didn't see, I didn't understand, and I was just being used to destroy this person, to try and get him to come under my control and under me and constantly dominate the whole situation in a sneaky way. You know, not all the time I would be furious and violent. I was very loud when I was having arguments. I just used to scream and yell, and I mean the neighbours heard, and it was just so embarrassing. And for so many years this went on. This torment and torture went on for years and years and years, and it just was so bad. Inside I kept crying out and thinking, this isn't how I wanted a marriage to be, this isn't how I thought it would be. But we worked together, and we had then separate salons and businesses, and we seemed to flow together. We were so busy because we had a church, we had a group, and we had people we had to teach and show and instruct, and we had to be examples and try and fake it all the time, being an example. And that's what Christianity was like. We had so many meetings during the week, 4 or 5 meetings, and driving people, picking people up. We were just so busy all the time, cooking and cleaning and working and catering for all the people that were around, and having functions and luncheons and Sundays. It was just incredibly tiresome. But we were younger then and very energetic, and I just thought, this is just so hard, but I just want to find the way. I want to find the way. And I thought that in the scripture it said that you can get free, but I had a type of belief. But Chris had this strength of belief. He had the courage of his convictions, and he used to preach and tell everyone in the salon, all the clients, about his belief, and used to take people down to the beach and baptize them. And he was so outspoken and outgoing and outrageous in every way, and everyone just seemed to love him because he was just the most amazing character, so charismatic and so full of excitement and happy and full of joy. He overcame his background and his past, and he got through, and he used to explain it all to people and tell people and share with people. And there am I in the background, just holding bitterness, holding all the hurtful things, holding things that he'd done to me. And it was just the hate and the guilt and the bitterness that welled up inside me. And I let him know all the time that you're not as good as you think you are. You're not right. You're not right. You can't be that right. And then when we found Yahusha, and we got immersed again, we got immersed in Yahusha's name, and we found the true name, a different spirit came into us. And again, Chris had this incredible visitation where he could see, and he just went all the way. He just followed Yahusha and put his head in the scriptures and just wrote articles and was full on, constantly talking to people and explaining and helpful and helping people. He always had a heart for people, and I wanted to have that heart. I wanted to control that heart. I wanted to be part of it. I wanted him to share and have that enthusiasm with me. And the way I went about it was just so horrible and so wrong. And I didn't see, and I didn't want to see that I was wrong. Trying to lift myself up all the time and trying to get attention and trying to put myself in there, just filled with demonic activity. The demons that came into me and gave me this. I accepted the thoughts and judging him and accusing him constantly of manipulating me and trying to use me and abuse and hurt me. But he's telling me the truth from the scriptures, and he's saying these things, and I used to hold the hurt where Yahusha is chastising me, I would blame him for the chastisement that Yahusha was giving me. I was so angry, and I could never get free. I could never top him off. I could never beat him. I was constantly challenging and wanting to be that person that he could admire, be that person that he would just fall and love me. And that's a worldly thing, to have an admiration like that for a woman. And that's how I wanted him to be. I wanted him to love me. I used him like a scapegoat in so many situations. I'd set him up, and he, because of his heart, he wanted to help me and give me relief and peace. And I'd use him and manipulate him to speak to people and to tell people off and to, you know, fight my battles. And then they would all be angry at Chris because I'd set him up, but because he spoke out and he was just trying to relieve me and stick up for me. And I'd tell him lies, and I'd lie and say, oh, this person's hurting me, and this person's upset me, and this. And the demons were just having a field day. And this is my journey, coming through and knowing constantly in my heart, holding things in my heart and not being real, not wanting anyone to see, not opening up and saying, oh yeah, it's really hard, it's really horrible what you have to go through and face, what a cruel, nasty person I've been. He's changed so much from what he used to be. He has changed into a totally different person. He doesn't get angry at me. He hasn't got a temper. He's not arrogant. He's not rude. He doesn't want to take advantage of anything. He doesn't want to manipulate. He doesn't want to hurt. He's loving and he's patient. He gives me all the freedom that I've ever wanted in my marriage. And he's even when we couldn't have a son and I had to go on IVF, I blamed him that his sperm wasn't right, and yet it was me that had the problem with blocked tubes. And I tried to blame him for everything in my life that went wrong. I tried to blame him for the situation of how my family felt about us, and yet I'd set him up and used him as a scapegoat to speak to them and to tell them off because they wouldn't accept Yahusha, they wouldn't accept our love, they wouldn't accept our marriage. I set him up in so many situations to speak to people for me and cause so much trouble and so much drama, holding back all the time, holding back the love, not accepting his love and letting him know that nothing was good enough for me because I was some special person. And the demonic forces that were constantly in my head using me, but I chose those thoughts. They'd say, oh yeah, he's doing this, he's hating you, yeah, go and get him, do this and do that, don't accept him, don't answer him, ignore him, and all these thoughts. And I just think that I was a better person holding his background over him, not forgiving, not loving. And yet Yahusha has changed him. Many snide, hurtful, cruel comments, just horrible looks, and not acknowledging his comments or not acknowledging things he did or said, just ignoring and being so horrible and cruel. This is how I've been towards my husband. This is my confession of what I've done and how I've treated my husband since I've come to Yahusha. I've been doing this, and Yahusha has been trying to clean me out all the time, and bit by bit I've faced the truth, but many times I wouldn't accept that was me. I wouldn't think that, oh no, I'm not that bad. I don't feel like that. I don't have that reaction. Denying what I'd done. Sometimes we'd be up to 2 and 3 in the morning, him trying to help me to get through and face the truth about things. I'd be twisting conversations around and accusing him of not loving me and ignoring me and not talking to me or hiding the truth. Just so wicked in that dark place. And that's where I've been. I've been in that horrible, wicked, dark place. And that's what I was towards him, and he's put up with. He's gone through it, and he's constantly loved me and tried to share and encourage and unravel the hideous knots and unravel the hideous reel of hurt and hate and judgments that I've kept inside myself. Now, this is a real experience when you come out of the world. This is the really real understanding of what happens when you're trying to find the truth and getting free of demons. And I can say that I know that I was possessed by demons, and Yahusha is setting me free every day. And that possession I would not accept. And yet Chris has told me if I have one thing against anyone, and this is scripture, if you have one thing against anyone, if you hold one thing, one judgment against anyone, it's a demonic thought. It's the thought from a demon, and you will act on that if you let that in. If you have one thing against your husband, you will act that out. No judgment, no accusing. And that's where I've been hiding. That's what I've done. I've been hiding because I've been so ashamed that that's the sort of person that I've been. And that's what we like when Yahusha finds us. That's what we like. We're just down and in a state, a dreadful, sinful state where Yahusha said that he chose you. He's chosen me before creation. He's chosen me while I was still in that state, and he wanted to clean me out. And I've been fighting being cleaned out. And this is what the fight comes to. You prolong the fight if you hide. If you're hiding sins and you hold back and you won't be open and real and honest. You're hiding demons in there, and demons are real. Demons will not let you be free until you put the word and the truth to every situation. Arrest every thought and check it with his word. And his word is the only truth. So Yahusha has come to me and has wanted me to share this with women so that they can be free. So sisters, you can be free of the forces of evil that come to you. And it's a true thing that you get to the point where you think that there's no way out for you. You're cornered, and this is what Yahusha wants. He wants to corner each one of us. I didn't care about what I said or how I said it. I didn't care. I thought I could be free, and I wanted to be free. I felt like I needed to be free and not put down, and I was able to say what I wanted to say. But Yahusha said he wants to cut all those things off. He wants to separate me from anything I'm putting before him. So he separated me from my family. He's separated me from my son. He's separated me from everything that I loved more than him. He's separated me, and I'm so glad he's separating me to him. And I found that very hard to have that separation. I could see my husband had done it, and he was just full on going, made a commitment to Yahusha, and nothing stopped him. And he got to get these wonderful understandings to help the behaviour with the 3 rules. To don't take anything personal, and that's a big one. I remember even when I was working in the salon with him over the years, everything he said I'd take personal. Every little thing he said I'd take personal. And that was my downfall. Holding things in and taking it personal. It wasn't meant personal. It was just an instruction. It was just, direction to do it this way and do it that way and get this and do that. And took it all personal because I was me. I was better. You can't talk to me like that. And so I'd lifted myself so high, Yahusha obviously had to put me down to show me. So Yahusha's saying, in the 3 rules, it's so good. The second one is to let everyone have it, and that is showing understanding. He showed me the understanding. He showed me the love and gave me full understanding because he could see that that's what I needed. And since we've been retired, he's been so close to me and come to me and shared every little detail and tried to encourage and help me out of my incredible quagmire of insanity, because demons make you insane. And I know I was insane. I was losing the plot. I was lost my mind. So many times I couldn't think straight, and the incredible torture of going against Yahusha and lying and pretending and faking and trying to be someone that I wasn't. The pressure of that and the anxiety that I put myself through, because demonic forces are there constantly pushing you into that state. And I chose demons all the time because I wanted that power. I wanted that force that I thought that was so clever and intellectual, and thinking that I was better in those ways, so many ways. And I put my husband down in intellect and in a social way and in every educationally and every way. I put him down and put him down and put him down, and tried to stop movement towards Yahusha, tried to break him, tried to squash him. And if he hadn't had a strong belief to Yahusha, if he wasn't strong in his belief, he would have cracked and would have broken, and I would have felt a wonderful victory with the demons. But look at what's happened. Yahusha's turned me on my head, turned everything upside down, and shone a light on my husband where I can see he's the most loving, giving, caring, understanding, patient, gorgeous person. And for years I couldn't see that. For years I was fighting that. For years I was just cruel and hateful and hiding this wicked, evil bitterness inside myself, because he was so much better than me in his behaviour. He could control himself. He got free. He got free of me. There's the woman's control in a marriage, and how a woman puts a husband down. He got free of that, and it didn't bother him. He just let me have it. And I was furious. I was livid with rage because I couldn't stir him up. At the beginning of our marriage I could, but when he found Yahusha, I couldn't rile him. I couldn't stir him. I couldn't push his buttons, because Yahusha had control of his buttons. Brothers and sisters, this is the way to get free, to overcome this, to confess your sin, to get free of this. The demonic forces that are in the world today, constantly with couples, in marriages, are constantly attacking and trying to break the husband, break the wife, break them apart and send them back into the world of darkness. And if you haven't got a fight in you, you haven't got your armor on, if you haven't got the truth, if you haven't got Yahusha's spirit, his real spirit, Yahuah that became Yahusha, morphed into Yahusha, became a new creature, that person that you have inside you, his spirit, his seed growing in you with the right spirit. If you haven't, he is our Elohim, and if you haven't got the power of his precious blood cleansing you daily and got his spirit with you, then you are lost. You are lost to the demonic forces in this world. You are lost, and you have no control. You have no control over anything that happens. You'll be swept away. This is so real. This is just the way to go. This is just so real, sisters. If you want to get free and have the love. Right now, I have this incredible love for my husband because I've faced these truths. I've come through and I can see, and I've confessed my sin. I've repented, and my husband's forgiven me, and I can see the love of Yahusha and feel his love, and we have a better love than we had at the beginning of our marriage when we first loved each other. And that incredible love from Yahusha is something so precious that I don't want to entertain demonic thoughts and wicked, dark, evil, cruel, hateful words. I don't want things to come off my lips to say against anyone, because it's so hurtful and so demonic. And if we face that and see the truth and see that this is how Yahusha wants his bride to clean out, go through Hebrews 12, where he chastises and admonishes and flogs us and trains us and teaches us. By all these experiences that I've had, he's proved himself that he is my Elohim. He is the way, the truth, and the life. He's tested me, and I want to prove myself more and more to him. And I thank you for listening. I thank you for giving the time for this video. It's just so wonderful if you can run that race and overcome the forces of darkness, that depression, that hideous heaviness that comes on you. You can be free of and get over what the world has done to humanity. Get over the demonic forces. Yahusha conquered sin and death. He wants us to die to ourselves, take up your stake and follow him, and he wants us to follow him all the way so that we can be changed like he was changed. We can see the change. I can see the change in my husband. He is so different. He is such a different person, even from last year and the year before. He keeps getting more and more understanding and perfection, and this is what's happening to us. It's infectious. It's like an incredible encouragement. If he can do it, we can do it. And Yahusha's put him amongst us to show us he can lead the way, and we can follow Yahusha, because we know Yahusha has walked this path, and we know that he is the way, the truth, and then you will have incredible life inside you. The life that is more abundant. He will give you this abundant life. the life where there's no pressure, no problem, no drama. There's peace in your home. And at the moment, now we have a lovely peace in our home. We hardly talk because there's not much to say, because we've been with each other for years and years, except when we're talking about Yahusha and his incredible inspiration. Apart from that, the daily chores and everything just flows, and we just have this wonderful peace. Encourage your sisters, go there. Women, get free of the world that's in us all and overcome. Thanks for listening.
They say I come and I go. Tell me all the ways you need me. I'm not here for long. Catch me or I go Houdini. I come and I go. Prove you got the right to please me. Everybody knows. Catch me or I go Houdini.